Hi, my name is Brooke Haggerty. Welcome to today's episode of For the Love of Food. Today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about staples in our freezer, and we're going to talk about using leftovers. First things first, I always have in my freezer, I always have a pie crust ready to go. This is not a pie crust that I made. This is a pie crust that I bought. Comes in packs of 2. I've got one ready to go now. I've got one that's in here frozen. The reason I keep pie crust, I love quiche. And what a great way to use your leftovers is to make quiche. So what I've done today, I've pulled some leftovers. I've got some cauliflower and some broccoli that are leftover vegetables for me. I pulled out my pie crust. I pre-baked my pie crust according to package directions. This package is in a 400-degree preheated oven. You take your pie crust out of the freezer, you let it thaw for about 5 minutes, and then you poke holes in it, and you cook it for about 11 to 12 minutes, and then you let it cool down, okay? And then we're gonna fill this with some awesome things to make a fabulous quiche today. I'm really excited about it. One thing I love about quiche is that quiche can be for breakfast, it can be for lunch, it can be for dinner, it can be served hot, it can be served cold. So you can take it in your lunch and just eat it like a sandwich, or you can eat it with a fork and a knife. You can eat it however you want. It's a very, very versatile food, which is what I love so much about it. So how do we get to the quiche? Well, we get to the quiche we start with eggs. We're gonna season after we whip up our eggs, we're gonna add a little bit, I'm using cashew milk today for that. And then we want to have a little bit of life to it, so we want to fluff them up. We want a nice fluffy quiche. We're going to be using baking powder today to add life to our eggs and give us a nice puffy quiche. We're going to be seasoning with garden herb seasoning, lemon pepper, and truffle salt today. We're going to be adding to our quiche, again, using my leftovers. I've got some leftover roasted broccoli, and I've got some leftover cauliflower that is roasted. Now, we're not going to have to add a lot of the other ingredients, the salt, the pepper, and the garden herb seasoning, because these are already packed with flavor. This cauliflower is actually a new cauliflower I just made the other night. I actually took the cauliflower and rubbed it in a spicy brown mustard and then roasted it. So it's got a lot of rich flavor in there already, so I'm not having to add a lot more to it. Same thing with the broccoli. The broccoli's got, I roasted this with a little truffle oil on there, so it's got a nice earthiness to it, and with that the garden herb seasoning, so it's already got that in there. Then we're gonna top it off with some awesome cheddar cheese. This is some beautiful sharp cheddar cheese that I have. It's gonna get mixed in and then topped onto our quiche, and it's gonna be fabulous. And again, great for breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you're having friends over for brunch, this is an easy thing to do. Make it in advance, have it for breakfast all week long. Take it in your lunch for lunch on the go. Have it at home for dinner for a quick and easy meal. If you're running around, pair it with a salad. It's a fantastic dinner. Let's start though. We've already got our pie crust done. Again, 400 degrees for 11 to 12 minutes. I poked holes in it, and then I pulled it out and we're gonna let it cool down. We're gonna add our ingredients to our cooled pie shell. My oven is set at 400 degrees, and once it's cooking time, we're gonna be at about 12 minutes cooking at 400 degrees. So I've got some beautiful farm fresh eggs. You know, I love my local farmers around here in Carroll County. They're always coming to me with eggs. Farmers market season is coming up soon. You know how I love the farmers market. And it's such a difference with these fresh eggs. You know, they've not sat in a grocery store for, you know, who knows how long. These were yesterday. I got these yesterday morning from one of my local farmers. So, one of my dreams I would love to have my own chickens. My husband tells me that I'm crazy, but I just think it would be so much fun to walk out there every morning and to get my own eggs and have breakfast ready from eggs that literally just hatched. I mean, what could be better than that? So right now I've got 6 eggs. I think I'm gonna go with 8 eggs in here today because I do want it nice and fluffy. So I've got 8 farm fresh eggs, and these aren't huge eggs. You know, sometimes I get large ones, sometimes, you know, not so large. I've had some that look like dinosaur eggs, and those are always fun to get. So, but I'm just going to whisk this up using my hand whisk. If you have an immersion blender that's got a whisk attachment, by all means you can use that. That's not a problem at all. And I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk here. I'm sorry, cashew milk. I'm going to add a little bit of cashew milk. You can add buttermilk. You can add heavy cream. Probably just about 1/4 cup is what you need. Now this is a 9-inch pie shell that I'm using. It is a deep dish shell. And the star of my quiche today, even though it's quiche and eggs are the star, my co-star is going to be my vegetables. Because I want to get a lot of fiber in me. I want something that's going to fill me up. The eggs aren't necessarily going to fill me as much as the vegetables are, especially, you know, the broccoli and the cauliflower. Man, those are just super filling veggies. Okay, so I'm going to get seasoned up a little bit. My eggs are whipped with my cashew milk. Just a little bit of garden herb seasoning. A little bit of truffle salt. And a little bit of lemon pepper here. And again, you know, I talk about the lemon pepper all the time. It's just, I've been using it for so long. It was one of the things that my mom always had was lemon pepper around. And I think it's just a tried and true thing for me. Okay, so I've got my eggs are whipped there. Oh, one thing I do need, we were talking about adding zing and giving some life to our eggs. We're gonna add a little bit of baking powder. So I'm gonna go with about a teaspoon of baking powder right into my eggs, and that's just going to give it a little life. It's going to pop it up in the air. It's going to be fun. It's going to be light and fluffy with a nice base of that broccoli and that cauliflower. So I'm going to take a couple pieces of cauliflower, and I'm just going to give them a nice little rough chop here. Again, these are my leftovers. So we're using our leftovers from our refrigerator, and we're using our staple from our freezer, which is my ready-made pie shell. You can also make your own pie shells and freeze them. I have a friend who does that. She's a big-time baker, and she swears to me that she's gonna get me to make my own. So you never know that you might see one of those coming up sometime soon on how to stock your freezer with homemade staples. Oh, that does sound like a fun show, doesn't it? I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so I've got my cauliflower there. I'm going to get my broccoli. And again, I'm using leftover broccoli. It's still got a lot of crunch to it. So we're gonna have a lot of texture in our quiche. You know, I love textures in food. And your vegetables, al dente, you don't want old mushy vegetables. You want nice hearty, you wanna feel it, you wanna taste it, and get all these nutrients in you. I think we'll add a little bit more broccoli in here. I think we're gonna have a nice full quiche here. We'll see how it looks once we fill up our crust. Okay. And the joy of this is, if we need to add more eggs, we can add more eggs. You know, start with a little bit less, and if you want to add more, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we're whipping up our eggs there. I think instead of adding my eggs first, I'm going to add my veggies first. So my veggies are going to go in here. We're going to get these arranged nice. Mix up our colors. You can use any veggies that you have left over. If you've got carrots or peas or asparagus would be awesome in here as well. Anything that you like. It's a nice, easy thing to do. And we're whipping. And we're gonna pour it right over. It's gonna fill up our crust here. Oh, and that looks just perfect. And I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese, some cheddar cheese. And you see I put my pie crust onto a baking sheet with a rack underneath of it. I put the rack on there so that we get the air circulating underneath of the pie crust. underneath of the pan. And we get a nice even cooking on the bottom and the top. I'm gonna put some more cheese on there because I love cheese. Oh, look how pretty that is. And I think just for a little color there. And then we'll garnish it with a little bit of parsley when it comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pop this in the oven. It's gonna go in a 400-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Oh, on the middle rack too. So while this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up. When I come back, we're gonna pull it out of the oven. We're gonna see what it tastes like, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm back. My dishes are all clean. I am in about 25 minutes though, instead of the 12 minutes, because I forgot I was using a deep dish pie shell rather than a regular pie shell. So I went from about this to about this. So I got a lot of room to cover down there. So we're finishing up now. We've got about a minute to go. It's gonna be really good. I did take a nice little quick sneak peek and it looks and smells great. When it comes out, we're gonna top it with a little bit of our shredded cheddar cheese. We're gonna put a little fresh parsley garnish on there. It's gonna be really good. We're gonna serve it up on our plate. We're gonna use our pie slicer and server to scoop it out. If you don't have a pie slicer server, you can by all means use a pizza cutter. So here we go, our timer's off. Our quiche is coming out. It's a beautiful, beautiful golden brown. Oh my gosh, look at that. So pretty. Our eggs have come up. They're nice and firm around there. I'm gonna give it my little jiggle test here. There's my jiggle test. Okay, terrific. Pass the jiggle test. My jiggle test is that if the eggs are still loose, it's gonna move. There's gonna be movement in there. So there's no movement in there. That means my eggs are finished underneath. I'm gonna take a little bit of cheddar cheese right on top there. You see how much we puffed up? That's from using that. It's again from using the baking powder. We're adding get some life in there. And I'm gonna take some fresh parsley, because we're eating with our eyes first, and fresh parsley is an awesome herb to use. And it's a great, just a FYI, parsley is great for cleansing your palate and creating fresh breath. So if you have fresh parsley around, go ahead, cleanse your palate a little bit, freshen your breath all at the same time. Okay, let's cut in. Oh, here we go. Oh, this looks delicious. It smells wonderful. I got a nice little loose, oh my gosh, look at that. Let me get the bottom of my egg here. Oh my, fantastic. Whoops, loose soldier. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dig right in. I got my broccoli, I got some cheese, I got some egg. Amazing crunch from the broccoli and the cauliflower. The fresh eggs are amazing. The cheese, fantastic. Again, enjoy quiche any time of the day, morning, noon, or night. Cold or hot, it's a great go-to dish for using your leftovers and your freezer. My name is Brooke Haggerty. I'm the Food Chick. Thanks for joining me today.